getting to be a little colder weather. Let's change the motor mounts on this 2012 Ford Fusion. All right, I already got started. The battery is out. I took the battery tray out, and there were some wires that were stuck to the battery tray. This wiring harness was attached right here to the battery tray. This wiring harness had this connector stuck in here on the engine mount, so I removed that, and this harness right here, that was connected into the battery tray. With those out of the way, now we'll probably have to raise the engine a little bit and then loosen this motor mount. Looking at the new mount, there's 2 bolts on top, 2 on the sides, and 1 through the middle. And we're going to have to remove this fuse box to get at these 2 top bolts. Got it. Oh, and there's 1 more down there with this plug in the way. I have to unplug it. Let's see if I can loosen this connector. Well, it's loosened. I have to take the airbox out too. Guess we have to take the airbox out. Where's the special thing you squeeze? Ah, it's the lever on the bottom you lift. Got it. We'll just leave it like that. The air filter didn't go in quite right last time. Let me show you. This kind of missed a little bit. It wasn't leaking too bad. I don't know, but up here was a little, it missed there too, so let's pull this out of here. It's supposed to sit on top of it all the way around. We might just need a new air filter. Doesn't fit very well. The dimensions are a little short. I don't know if it shrunk or what, but what is this? Purolator. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. I think I should be able to lift up on this. Yeah. Alright. And of course they attached wires to the airbox. Why would someone do that? I don't get it. Why do you attach wires to an airbox? So this has to come back all the way to there, and that pops out. Alright, I'm going to put a U-joint on my extension. I can get at it here and here. Let's get a 13mm socket on there. Really would have been nice to get this fuse box out. Oh well. Is that too much of an angle for my U-joint? Pull this connector off of here. It seriously looks like you just push down on that. Not made to come apart. Seriously. That doesn't press down. This doesn't lift up. It's just like whoever designed this was like, this is never coming apart. This simple stuff bogs you down so much on cars. It's like, this is supposed to be simple. You remove a connector. Come on. I could bend it out of the way and jam a socket on there. Oh, did that like not help at all? There's lots of wiring harnesses holding this thing down. U-joints will pop off, or make the sockets pop off, so you gotta always be ready for that. It's not like a normal thread where you just go, oh yeah, once it breaks free, we just come loose. But no, they have to make it totally binding in there. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I guessed right. 18. What does Ford like more than the 17s and 19s? 18s. There we go. Nope. I mean, it has the cutout for a socket. See if my fan belt tool will work. Barely gets in there. One click at a time. There's one way back here. That's gonna be a fun one. Anyone got a better way to do this? There's a little bit of friction as I turn it. Now I've got the engine supported underneath with a jack. If I lean on the fender, it makes more weight supported on the jack, and it's slightly easier to turn than if I'm off of it. So I need to just raise my jack just a little bit. Now I lean on the fender, and it's a little bit easier, so let's go up a little bit more. It's even easier. Let's go a little bit more. Yep, a little bit more. A little bit more. Yeah, a little bit more. Even more. Okay, now if I lean on the fender, I can just push it right out. Had to lean a little bit more. We've got one more bolt down in the bottom here. There's some slop in the U-joint, so I only get like one click. Always that one bolt. Alright, I think it actually will be easier to remove the other side of this engine mount. So we have to disconnect the speedometer cable. There are these plastic tabs right here. We need to pry back so that it will lift out of its holder. And as soon as you get one side out, the other side pops back in. There we go, there's one side. Just lift on both sides equally. There we go. Now that's out of the way. I can get to this bolt here. That's a different size. And a 13mm bolt head. Alright, where'd the socket go? Oh, here's my socket. Maybe I can loosen this from here. There we go, I can put a socket on there. Yeah, sometimes I use tools I don't like this one. There's the old motor mount coming out. And yes, that was definitely a broken motor mount. All that rubber disconnected. Alright. Alright, let's get the new motor mount in. So this bolt is slightly worn on the top. So the worst bolt out of the bunch for the tops, I mean, it's not bad at all, really. It's just my wrench slipped a couple of times. So I'm going to put this in the easiest, most accessible location out of all of these bolts. I hope the reasons are obvious for that. So I'll put the worst bolt probably on the top right here. There's a storm moving in. I'm going to have to hurry this up. Precisely why I don't like this tool. Trigger gets stuck on there. You got to disconnect the hose to get your tool off. I hate that trigger. It's terrible, terrible design. Why don't I just get longer ratcheting wrenches? Supply chain. I don't want to get the really cheap ones. There's a certain brand that's just been out of stock for a long time. No, it's not Snap-on. Alright, let's put this top part of the motor mount on. I need to move the engine. Would lowering it help a little? Oh yeah. That's on there. Got the funny looking bolt. Goes back here to center that thing over there. So that's one of the first ones that needs to get tightened down. And I'll just set these other nuts on, or start them on the threads. Flag bolt goes on the back. Get this centering bolt in first. I want to get these bolts more centered. Let's move this plastic thing, just rotate it a little bit there. Here we go. Alright, that centering bolt is tight now. Looks centered. Tighten the rest of these up. Don't worry, it's on one. One was almost the right amount of ugga-duggas. One down, two to go. Alright, right where the airbox goes, there's some rubber grommets. Let's put a little lube on here so that they go in easily. And let's get a little bit on the bottom side of the airbox. Alright, let's pop this guy in here. I think we're missing a piece from here to here. Guess I wasn't the first guy to take that apart. There's also this piece that I'm like, well, I don't know, it was just sitting here. Somebody changed the light bulb. Oh, somebody changed the light bulb and didn't put the piece from here to there on. Okay, we'll plug this guy back in there. There we go. Oh yeah, the engine mount had this wire mounted in it. Mounted this wire back in the engine harness. Or engine harness. Wiring harness back in the engine mount. I can talk, I promise. Alright, where the battery box mounts is a prime place for corrosion because of battery acid. People overfill their batteries and leaks out. So let's put some anti-seize on these bolts here. There are these studs, I mean. Alright, and then we have to wire up our battery tray. That's the weirdest sounding thing. Yeah. This wiring harness connects right in here. This wiring harness connects, or did that wiring harness connect? Put these nuts, washer nuts on there. One more bolt that gets anti-seize because it's underneath the battery tray. Now you can see this battery hold down screw is pretty rusted, so it needs a little bit of anti-seize right here. I guess that's the Headless Horseman. Alright, as we put this back together, the Headless Horseman is being a responsible rider and cleaning up after the horse's mess. Plug in the mass airflow. No, this is the intake air temperature sensor. Or is it the mass airflow and intake air temperature sensor? Something like that. So right by the battery, that's where that wiring harness plugs into.